for the Purposeful Living Conversations. Purposeful Living Conversations come to you every week on Saturdays, where we look at various aspects of life, topical issues. And today we are looking at my money, my priority. So for my money, my priority, we started last week and we agreed that because of the dynamics of the topic, we want to take it over the full month of September. So every week in September, Saturdays, we'll still look at this subject, an aspect of the subject. So today we want to continue from where we ended last week. Last week, we started with how we can generate income, and we saw on a broader perspective 4 areas of generating income. So last week, we saw that to be able to generate income, we need 4 various channels. The first channel we saw was the sale of your skills, your demandable skills. And we gave examples of people who are selling their skills in this life. Okay, we mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo. We mentioned different people in different fields selling their skills to make income. We also mentioned that we can make income by the provision of services. So you can provide service from your own, or you can create a business for the business to provide service. And that is also a sure way of generating income. We also mentioned that you can generate income through production. So if you can produce what people want, if you can produce water, if you can produce clothes, if you can produce, any product that is in demand in the market, any product that can solve problems in this life, you can also generate income through production. Then we ended by saying that you can generate income through investments. There are different types of investments. So we mentioned that these are the 4 channels, universal principles of making income, or universal channels to generate income. So whether you are a born again believer, whether you have been prophesied to, whether you have an anointing, you carry the grace or whatsoever, the grace of God will manifest in your life through these 4 areas. Okay, if you are expecting blessings from God, the blessings of God will manifest through these 4 areas. So if you are deprived of these 4 areas, if you are not using the advantage you have in any of these 4 areas, then it will not be possible to have sustainable source of income. Okay, somebody may say that, what if, somebody gives me money? What if I pray and somebody pays my school fees for me? Those are ones off, but they are not sustainable. So the point we want to make on this platform is to take us through sustainable ways of generating income. Then along the line, in the next episode, we will look at how to manage our expenses, because finances, personal finances, are based on how you can generate income and how you can manage your income through your expenses. So in order not to take much of your time today we want to look at only one aspect, or one of the 4 aspects of generating income. We want to look at investments. Investment is very important, but many a time when we talk about investment, what comes to mind is that, where can I invest? Where can I put my money and be comfortable? Where can I generate more? So investment is a big deal, especially in this part of the world. In Ghana, in Africa, in developing countries, investment appears to be something very big. But irrespective of where you are, irrespective of where you find yourself, we want to look at various areas you can put your investments, okay? And then you can be sure that there will be a return, or there will be an interest, there will be an additional income to you. The point is that we make money through investment. We make money through the sale of your skills. You can make money through production. You can also make money through provision of services. But then you want to single out the investment and delve more into the investment today. In the subsequent meetings, we will look at some of the other ways of generating income. So now to look at investments, we want to make it very simple for everyone connected to really understand and apply. So we've broken down investment into 4 various dimensions, very simple dimensions, 4 areas. And the first area is money market investment. Money market investment. The second one is capital market investments. Capital market investment. The third one is asset investment. Asset investment. The fourth one is commodity investment. Commodity investment. So asset investment, money market investment, commodity investment, capital market investment, and let me even add the fifth one. The fifth one is personal development investment. Personal development investment. So let's quickly go back to the first one, money market investment. Money market investment is investing your money with a financial institution over a short period of time. Okay, maximum 1 year. That is money market investment. So many people want to increase their investment. They want to make money, but they may have, for example, 5,000 cedis in their accounts. They don't have any plan for the 5,000 for now, or some way, somehow, they are planning towards December. They are planning towards the Christmas. From now to Christmas, at least we have 3 months in between. But then they will have the 5,000 in their bank account that is not yielding any interest. In fact, if you don't instruct the bank to use your money will attract no interest. But if you instruct the bank that this money I have with you, I want to buy a product. I want to buy a product within 1 year that should be able to materialize or mature. And that is a money market investment. An example of a money market investment is treasury bills. Treasury bills, you can call it T-bills. For T-bills, we have 90 days, we have 180 days, we have 273 days, and we have 1 year. Technically, we have 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. So if you know you have money in your bank account and you are planning for December, you are planning for your wedding 6 months time, you are planning for, you are preparing for something that will happen in 3 months time or more, you can buy T-bills. Even though it might not be very substantial in terms of the interest, but at least it can help you to cultivate the habit of investment. It will add something to your money, and it will also help you to understand the dynamics of the money markets. So to simplify this, money markets is a form of investment that you give your money to a financial institution over a maximum period of 1 year. So we can have fixed deposits. You can tell the bank that I'm putting this money with you for 1 year. So what is the interest? Sometimes, depending on the size of the money, you can even negotiate with the bank. Okay, sometimes depending on the size of your money, you can even negotiate on when you can withdraw. So fixed deposits, very important. T-bills, very important. If you have an idle money in your bank account, that idle money will not increase unless you instruct the bank to put your money somewhere. So one form of generating income is money market. Thank you very much. As we move on, we want to look at capital market investment. Capital market investment, and we don't want to go into the dynamics of finance with jargons to confuse anybody. So we just go in a way that everybody should be able to understand. The first one is called shares or stock. Okay, shares means you are buying part of a company, a listed company. For example, in Ghana, there are few companies that are listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Okay, we have MTN listed on the stock exchange. We have Stanchart listed on the stock exchange, Cowbank, GCB. These companies are listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and you can see their performance. When you visit the stock exchange, the website, you can see their performance. Every listed company they publish their financial statement on their websites. So you can go to MTN's website, download their financial statements. And even if you don't have finance background, let somebody show you their profits, okay, their profit, because they will distribute part of their profit to their shareholders. So stocks or shares, this is how it works. You give money to a bank, and you give money to a listed company, and you buy what we call shares. The number of shares you buy determines your dividend or your income at the end of the period. So you can buy shares in listed companies in your country. You can buy shares in listed companies outside your country. The good news is that you can buy shares in listed companies in US. You can buy shares in listed companies in strong markets like UK, South Africa, Johannesburg Stock Exchange. You can buy shares. And when you buy shares, this is not a Ponzi scheme. That is not an online marketing. You buy your shares online, and then your share will be increasing. So there will be two benefits on buying shares. Two benefits. Sometimes even three benefits. The third benefit is optional, depending on where you invest. The first benefit is that periodically, the company will declare dividend. Dividend is like profits. Part of the profits will be distributed to those who have shares in the business. So if you can go to your portal and you see the investment you have made in a company. Let's say you made investment of 1,000 cedis. Okay, along the line, you see that they will add 5 cedis to it, or they will add 20 cedis to it, and they will indicate that the 20 cedis is your dividend. So first, you will increase your investment by enjoying dividend. The second one is that when you are buying the shares, you buy shares in quantities. So they can say that for this company, the share price, okay, the price for buying one share, the shares are in quantities, as I said. So for example, MTN can have 2 million quantity of shares. So you can buy 10,000 shares, you can buy even two, you can buy one. Okay, so the price of one of the shares could be 5 cedis. Okay, the price of one could be $5. But as people buy, more people are buying the shares. The market is so dynamic that the market is so flexible that the higher the demand, the higher the price. So if many people are buying the shares of Microsoft, the share price of Microsoft will go up. So price for one share of Microsoft that was, say, $100 some few months ago, today that price is no longer $100. The price can increase based on the factors of demand and supply. So it means that you can increase the value of the shares, can increase the value of that investment. So apart from the dividend, the actual share price you buy the shares for will increase over time, or it's possible it can increase. It can also decrease. But then if you buy a well-analyzed company, a company with very good track record, you can be sure that there is a higher possibility of your investments to increase. I mean, the actual money you invested in the company to increase. Okay, so when you go online, recently, there's this company I was analyzing, I was just following their share price. It was about $190 per share, but today is over $220 a share. So it means that if I bought shares for $190 some 2 months ago. Today, that $190 is worth $220. Okay, so they've not declared dividend. The year has not ended, but the money we used to buy the shares two months ago has increased because of the market perception of the company. If the market thinks the company will declare huge profits by the end of the year, many people will rush to buy the share price of that company. And as people demand for the share price of any company, the share price of the company will go up. So it's very sensitive to the market, especially in a well-developed market like the market of developed countries. Just one announcement, can impact the share price. For example, the NDC political party in Ghana is planning to scrap off the e-levy, for example. Okay, even though e-levy was introduced by the NPP government, they also believe that if Bawumia wins, Bawumia wants to take away e-levy. Just by announcing that these two parties are thinking of removing the e-levy, if the Ghanaian markets were to be a well-developed market, that announcement could have impacted the share price of MTN. It could have increased the share price of MTN because if they take away e-levy, okay, it will increase the number of transactions people will do on mobile money. And the more people do transactions on mobile money, the more MTN makes money. Okay, so just the mere fact of announcing the possibility of taking away e-levy can increase the share price of MTN. So if you really want to make money from the purchase of shares, there are two ways to go about it. You can be an active trader. An active trader will monitor the market, will monitor the trend, will monitor the news, will analyze the announcements of the government, the announcement of top financial institutions like the Bank of Ghana or the central bank of that country. Recently, US announced a potential reduction in their prime rate. The prime rate is the interest rate the central bank, borrow and gives money to other banks who want to borrow from the central bank. And that rate affects the prices of, that rate affects interest rates. So the central bank of US announced the possibility of reducing borrowing rates. And just by announcing that, it has increased the share price of many businesses. You know why? If they reduce the interest rates, it means that if you invest in bonds, if you invest in government securities, your return will be low. So just by that announcement, many people are investing in stock. Okay, many people are investing in shares. All right. So if you want to invest in shares, you can be an active trader. An active trader will monitor the market, can pick one company, Microsoft, and read about Microsoft, go to their website every day, monitor their publications to predict where the share price of Microsoft will be in the next few months or by the end of the year. So the information you receive from the website or the information you receive from the market can influence your decision whether to invest more or to withdraw your investment. All right. So it's very important. There was a time I had some few investments in one company. I was following them. The share price was dropping. And I said, no, should I sell or not? But I didn't have much time to follow them in details to know that after some time, that share price will increase. So you can choose to be an active trader. an active trader, and you can also make, much money from being an active trader, especially in a well-developed country, like the US, like the UK, European countries. They have strong market. You can actively follow companies and trade in their shares. You can also be a passive trader. So to be a passive trader means you don't have time to follow their share price, their publications. That's not your business. You just want to put your money there. But the recommendation is that if you want to be a passive trader, it means that you are looking at the long term. Okay, you are looking at the long term. You don't want to invest for a short period of time. You are investing for 5 years. You are investing for 10 years. You are investing for years. And in the long run, the share prices of every company will go up. Number one, in the long run, the market can correct all anomalies, all abnormalities. The market is able to correct that. But my recommendation is that if you want to invest as a passive trader, invest in a foreign denominated bond or invest in a foreign denominated currency shares. Okay, so if you're in Ghana and you want to be a passive passive trader, you don't invest in a Ghana cedi investment. You lose money because sometimes the share price may not increase in line with inflation. The share price may not increase in line with economic dynamics of your country, and the dividend you receive might not compensate you for the loss in value due to economic dynamics. So the best thing to do if you want to invest in a long term is to invest in a foreign currency shares. You invest in the US stock market, and because of technology, you can invest in New York Stock Exchange even if you are in Ghana. You can invest in Johannesburg Stock Exchange. You can invest in London Stock Exchange. And if you invest in London Stock Exchange, for example, you convert your money to pounds, then you invest in pounds. So because you are investing over a long term, in the long run, the share price will appreciate for like 5 years. The £100 you are investing today will appreciate to, let's say, 110, £120. It might not appreciate, it might not double, but in terms of your local currency, in 5 years, it may be possible that the local currency value will devalue by 100%. In 2022, Ghana's currency to US was 6 cedis to $1. Today, the currency is 16 cedis to $1, more than 100%. In fact, 300% depreciation from 6 cedis to 16. Assuming it gets to 18, that is exactly 3 times. So if you had $1,000 investment in Microsoft, okay, and you invested it in 2022 for doing nothing, for not observing their performance or not going to their website to read anything about them, just because your investment is in foreign currency, you can double your investment over time. So that is one. If you're a passive stock or share investor, do not invest in a local currency. But if you are a short-term investor, you can invest in local currency. You can also invest in foreign currency. So those are the two dynamics I want you to take note of. So we've looked at money markets, where we considered treasury bills and fixed deposits. Then we also looked at capital markets. So capital markets, we've looked at the purchase of shares and how it works. Another area of the capital market is the purchase of bonds. Okay, bonds are long-term securities, mostly by the government. Okay, so the government can have a 5-year bond, a 10-year bond, a 20-year bond. If you buy bonds, it means that you are looking at the long term. But you can benefit from the interest. You can withdraw your interest at the end of the year. but you may or you cannot withdraw your capital investment. Okay, it's another source of income, or it's another way of investment. So if you invest in a long-term bond, for example, the Bank of Ghana, sold some bonds for 20% interest. It means that if you have 100,000, 100,000 cedis with this type of bond, every year you have 20,000, 20% of whatever you invest. So investing in bonds, you can withdraw the interest annually. So if you have 1 million, instead of the 1 million sitting in your account, if you have a bond that pays 25% per annum, it means that every year you have 250,000 cedis or $250,000, no matter that, depending on the type of currency you invest in. Just as I mentioned that for the shares, if possible, invest in foreign denominated currencies. If you also have the opportunity to invest in foreign denominated currencies for your bonds, you should go ahead and buy foreign denominated bonds. Sometimes the Bank of Ghana or the central bank issues what we call euro bond. Euro bond. An euro bond is a bond denominated in a foreign currency. So even though the central bank is the one issuing the bond, they can issue the bond in dollars. Sometimes they do that to help investors or to give confidence in foreign investors, to say that if I invest in this bond, I'll be paid in dollars. If you invest in a dollar-denominated bond, which is also called euro bond, you will receive your returns, your interest in dollars or in that currency. So you can also be specific about the type of currency bond you invest in. So that is bond. It's just like a long-term loan, but you invest with the government. Okay, until recently, bond was risk-free. Until 2023 in Ghana, bond had always been risk-free. In almost every part of the world, bond has no risk. There is no risk associated with bond. So you are sure you get the interest at the end of the period or at the end of the year. So it's very important. If you are watching from another country, I want to encourage you that instead of keeping your money and praying for God to open the door is that invest that money. The door is that buy shares. The door is that buy bonds. The door is that invest in T-bills. The door is that invest in fixed deposit. Don't allow your money to be sitting idle, because there is no idleness with God. As a child of God, if you put your money somewhere, your money can generate income for you. And I believe that all the blessings we have received from God by going to church, by sowing seed to support the work of God, these blessings will manifest through the investment we do. Thank you very much. As we progress, we want to look at the last two types of investment. The first two, we've seen money market investment. We've also seen capital market investment. The last two types of investment, the third one is called asset investment. Asset investment. So for asset investment, it may require your time or it may not require your time, depending on how you go about it. For asset investment, we have two types. Okay, we may even have three. We have the income generating assets, an asset that can generate income for you, an asset that can make money, income generating assets. There's this guy who invested in what we call Nkrumah. Nkrumah is a milling machine. In my local language, you call it Nkrumah. The mill maize, the mill that. When in school, he had Nkrumah at the Medina market, and he was making a lot of money out of it. I didn't know. He was living big. I thought he was coming from a big family, But he told me that he got money from somewhere and he invested in the Nkrumah at the major market in Accra. And after school, he was managing his Nkrumah or the milling machine, as I mentioned. So income generating assets are assets that can generate income by themselves. Okay, the milling machine, you look around, even in Ghana, today we have, because of technology, most people do not pound fufu. They have fufu pounding machines. You can invest in it. You look around your community. If there is none, you just do some research, ask questions. Oh, if you get a milling machine, a fufu pounding machine, would you patronize it? You can do some research about 100 people, about 50 people, about 20 people, have a sense of the demand for the asset you want to invest in and do an investment. Somebody told me that he was a teacher or he is still a teacher, but he invested in mobile money shops. So he set up mobile money joints in the northern part of Ghana. And today he makes a lot of money from the various shops he has set up. The money he makes from one shop is more than the salary he's paid from being a teacher. So income generating assets is an asset that can generate income. You can have a shop, a provision shop. You can have something that people would naturally come to, and through the engagement with people, you can generate income from that. So think of a shop, think of a business, think of an asset that can generate income. You can buy a car if you are in a city. In fact, you don't have to be in a city before you think of buying a car for commercial purpose. As a graduate, wherever you find yourself, there is demand for transport. And transport is an income generating asset. The demand for transport will never cease. Okay? Will never cease. The demand for certain things are almost insatiable. That is why it's important for you to open your eyes as a child of God. Open your eyes as a Christian, as a Muslim, as a religious person, believing that your God will bless you. Believing that when you do certain religious activities, your God will bless you. Of course, God blesses, but he blesses people through the investment they make. One of the ways he blesses people is through the investment. That is why this third point is talking about income generating assets. I cannot give all the examples of income generating assets. One guy said when he was in school, high school, he bought a shaving machine, a shaving a machine. He wasn't a barber, he couldn't shave, but he bought a machine and he found somebody who could shave the hair. So he entered into an agreement with him that when you shave somebody, my part is 50% and your cut is 50%. And through that, he made money to buy his books, to do certain things before he left. He's now in the university. And you know what he's doing now? I don't want to go into his business, but the point is that income generating assets is almost everywhere. It's almost everywhere. You don't need thousands of dollars. How much is a shaving machine? It was just about 500 cedis. But he was able to he shaved one person 20 cedis. They will share 10 cedis, 10 cedis. So by the end of the semester, he was done recouping his investment in the assets. And that is a very good example. Another type of assets I want you to pay attention to, we call it value appreciating assets. And for value appreciating assets, you may think of capital intensive assets like real estate. Of course, real estate is one value appreciating assets. Okay, you can invest in land if you have the capacity. You can invest in buildings if you have the capacity, because the value of buildings will forever increase over time. The reason is that land is fixed. Land is fixed. So people would, wherever you are, somebody will bypass you, go to the other parts and build. And with time, your place will be more developed. than the one who comes later. So the more developed area, just by the development around that area will increase in value by the perception of people. Another story about, value appreciating assets like building. The materials used for building, the cost of materials for building is increasing every day. Recently, the cost of one block, construction block, was 8 cedis in Ghana. Today it's 9 cedis. So it's not like what last year. This is just 2 months ago, and it's now 9 cedis, 1 cedi in addition. So technically, if you have a property, the property has increased in value by the increase or the percentage increase in the cost of raw materials. If you have roofing that was costing, let's say, 1,000 cedis, and today the roofing costs 1,200 cedis, your existing property that has roofing has increased by 20% because the cost of roofing a building has increased by 20%. So depending on the funds you have, you can strategically invest in value appreciating assets. Okay, then you can also invest in the value appreciation assets. You can invest in value appreciating currencies. Value appreciating currencies like the US dollar, the British pounds, the euros, strong currencies. So the currency itself will increase. Just some 3 months ago, I exchanged some dollars for 11.5 cedis. 11.5 cedis. Then I forgot that I was left with $400 somewhere. Then recently I found it and I did the sign of a cross. Thank you. I didn't know that I have $400 somewhere. I went to change it and it was 15.5 cedis. 15.5. So just in 3 months, there is an increase in value. So assuming I intentionally kept the $400 somewhere, just because I kept the money in dollars, the value of that money has increased, okay, because of the depreciation of the local currency or the devaluation of the local currency. So the local currency is possible local currencies against the US dollar or against the British pounds will devalue over time. We don't have the solution now, but I believe that in the long run, we'll have solution in our country. But for now, we don't have the solution. So let's take advantage of that and also do some investment. You don't have to put the money with the bank. If you live in a well-secured place, you can change the money in dollars. Just keep it there. The dollar will increase. The value in local currency of that money will increase. And that is also a form of asset appreciating investment. The last thing before we end this session is called commodity investment. Commodity investment. It requires time, but then it's also a very good way of investment. You can have this newspaper called BFT if you are in Ghana. So BFT publishes the prices of commodities in various places. They do research every week and they publish the price of maize in Medina Market, the price of maize at Cantonment, the price of maize in Abobushi, in specific markets, even in different places, Kumasi, Accra, Takoradi, and all. You can see the huge variation in the prices of demands and commodities of high demand like maize. Okay, the demand for maize in Ghana is very high. Wherever you are, find a commodity that is in high demand and let's see the differences in the prices. I had a friend, I used to work with a friend at Deloitte. Deloitte is a well-known professional services firm, but he started trading in maize, created a business that trades in maize. Today, he has resigned from his job and is making hundreds of thousands of Ghana cedis from maize. Maybe you don't have a huge money like 100,000 cedis or $100,000 to trade in maize. But then you can even buy the maize. If you want to try this, buy maize, 1 bag of maize, learn how to store it. You can keep it in the sun sometimes, then you take it back for a month. Go to the market or go to the banku seller and say that, oh, I have maize. What is the current price? The prices of these products are going up every day. The prices of maize, the prices of beans going up every day. So if you have a means of storing some of these products and you have time, this unemployment we talk about in our country, how many graduates will begin to trade? There was a time I analyzed the prices of maize in Medina market and the price of maize in Dodowa. There was a huge difference. So if there's no job, why can't I invest in commodities? What is the transportation cost from Medina to Dodowa? It's not far. Even Tema, there was a huge variation. You can take the BFT newspaper and read, or you can go to Ghana Commodity Exchange, the website, Ghana Commodity Exchange. They also do, that is the institution of the government to analyze the prices of various products. So let me check the website for you. Ghana Commodity, yes, it's called Ghana Commodity Exchange. You click on it, there are so many publications. Look at various commodities and see how you can trade in them. Recently, the government announced an increase in the price of the bag of cocoa. It's a huge investment opportunity. You don't have to be a cocoa farmer. You don't have time to maybe be a cocoa farmer, but you can buy cocoa. And so, assuming somebody through intelligence knew that because of the election, the government would, I mean, almost every 4 years, the government increases the price of a bag of cocoa. Cocoa last month, not even last month, last week, cocoa was, a bag of cocoa was 1,600 cedis. I mean, 1,350 cedis, not even up to 1,400 cedis. The government has increased cocoa from 1,450 to 3,000, over 100% increase. Over 100% increase. How many young graduates, through intelligence, through analyzing the way we do politics in Ghana, believe that the government could possibly announce a change in the price of cocoa before the election? Why didn't you go to the village and buy 10 bags of cocoa? You could have bought the 10 bags even for a lower amount, lower than the standard price. Do you know that sometimes when school resumes, universities resumes, high schools reopens after vacation, most cocoa farmers are under pressure. Okay, sometimes there's no money at the cocoa depot, so they want money for their children to go to school. Why can't we analyze the markets to see when cocoa farmers are vulnerable, so to say, and buy cocoa at a cheaper price? Buy cocoa at a cheaper price. If the government is selling for 3,000 and you need money to pay your children's school fees, I am a commodity trader. I am a commodity dealer. I can give you 2,500 for a bag of cocoa. And how many farmers will say no? If they need money for that funeral, if they need money for that school fees, if they need money to marry a second wife. No, they do many things in those communities. So the point is that there are commodities you can trade in, commodities you can invest in. Okay, let's up our game of understanding investments and take advantage of any of these investment opportunities I've highlighted, and let's see how the blessings of the God we serve will manifest in everyone's life. So for commodity investment, I made mention of 3: maize, beans, cocoa, but there are many other commodities we can trade or invest in. We can invest in assets appreciating, a value appreciating assets. We can invest in income generating assets. We can invest in skilled backed assets, skilled back like the barber shop. One of my friends came to me that he wanted to start a barber shop, even asked me to invest in. I didn't. Today, that barber shop, he's not a barber, he can't shave a hair, but he built a very nice barber shop and he got very good barber. He hired him and he pays him on commission and some fixed amount. And today his barber shop is one of the most prestigious barber shop in that area. Okay, included in the barber shop, he has Momo joint, he has many things. These are things people are doing to increase their income. So when they go to church and they are praying for God to bless them, they are not praying that somebody will just call them, hey, boom, come for this job. Your boss will see you the following day and say, boom, I promoted you. That's the kind of thinking some people have when they receive blessings from men of God. They think that their job will change, that still will change overnight. But they've forgotten that when you talk about, increasing your income, we can increase income through investment, we can increase income through production, we can increase income through the provision of services, we can increase income through our skills. But today, we've singled out investments and we've highlighted 4 areas of investment: money market investment, capital market investment, asset investment, and finally, not the least, commodity investments. Thank you very much for making time. If you want more, let's continue to follow us as we come your way next week with another episode of My Money, My Priority. Sikasem Hiame. Into Sikasem Hiawa. Let's meet again next week as we go through another section of these wonderful insights. God bless you. Let's pray before we bring the session to an end. Almighty Father, we thank you for answers to our prayers. We began by asking you for your guidance, asking you to help us understand the things we will talk about today. And we are very confident that our prayers are answered. Our eyes are opened onto various dynamics of investments. I pray for everyone who will chance on this video that you will help us to see the results by investing what we have in various areas of life. We thank you for answers to our prayers in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. God bless you. This is the Friends of Purpose in Christ, and this is Purposeful Living Conversations. Conversations to help you to live a purposeful life. God bless you. Meet you again, same time next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Ghana time. It's Purposeful Living Conversations. God bless you.